Hello, everyone. Welcome. So, today, what we will study is chemical equation. Now, what is chemical equation? So, we are talking about chemical equation. So, there are various kinds of changes that takes place around us. So, if we say rusting of iron, this is one change that takes place around us. If we say making of tea, so that is also a change that happens around us. Then we have various all these kinds of changes that happens around us, which we see has affected. If I say rusting of iron, then you would say, you would see the window panes which is there, that is having some brown kind of powders that is happening. So that is rusting of iron. Even making of tea, because there is some kind of flavor which is coming out of the tea leaves, is getting mixed with the milk, and you're getting a very good aroma. So there are various reactions that is going to take place in the nature. Again, if I talk about biological effects, like if you say photosynthesis, if you say within human body digestion, all this includes various chemical reaction. So now my first job is to define what is chemical reaction. So I am going to define what is chemical reaction. So now, what do you think chemical reaction is? Of course, when I talk about chemical reaction, I have got a reactant and I have got a product. So, there are chemical reactions. So, in this chemical reaction, I have got, so there is some reaction that is going to take place, A plus B, which is going to provide C plus D. So now in this case, A and B, I'll call it as reactant. And C and D, I'll call it as product. So here, what is it? First and foremost, we will say, what is chemical reaction? Chemical reaction means when reactants combine to form a product. So that is chemical reaction. Okay? So how do we understand that a chemical reaction has taken place? To understand that a chemical reaction has taken place, there are few options. Like, what are the things that I'll understand the chemical reaction is taking place? First one, I can say that there is a change in state. Change in state. That means what? How will I say there is a change in state? Maybe the solid form is getting changed to the liquid form. That is a change in state that is occurring. So that is when I say reaction has taken place. Some We'll come to the equations or everything a bit later when there's a physical change. If I say uh, you know in this case, I can give an example, like boiling of water can be there. So there are various changes that would take place, we can see that is happening. Or here I can say the solid is going into the dust form, that is also there. Second, I can say that there can be a change in color. So again, if I talk about rusting of iron, then again there's a change in color. So a brown color becomes a blackish color. So there is a change in the color that occurs. Third way is what? Evolution of gas. So there is some kind of gas which is being evolved. So a very common, if I say respiration, There's evolution of gas which is taking place. Okay, so photosynthesis, there's an evolution of gas that is taking place. So, and then there is a change in temperature. So if there's a change in temperature, also means that there is some kind of chemical reactions is taking place. Or we can have another is formation of a precipitate. Formation of precipitate. So one by one, when we go ahead, we'll see various equations regarding this. Okay, so now as I was talking to you, I was telling you what is chemical reaction or how do we define chemical reaction. So for chemical reaction, okay, when I write this, I'll use text. Okay, for chemical reaction, I can define it as chemical reaction can be defined as the process in which one or more substances react to form new compound or compounds, hence I'm putting S in bracket, with change in properties. So there will be change in the properties of the substances that would take place. So this is what I say chemical reaction is. Okay. Now, this is chemical reaction. So whenever we write chemical reaction, what is that we are looking forward to? We are looking forward to, in chemical reaction, the thing that we are looking forward to is there should be an equation. I should know what is changing. Say if I say, I give you carbon, I give you oxygen, and this is going to form carbon dioxide. Or if I have to say you, we burn gases, right? So burning of gas, if I say you, so there is the liquid petroleum gas which actually combines with air or oxygen, and this gives out a flame. So there is some reaction that is going to occur. If I say milk, again curdling of milk, you would have seen if you keep the milk outside or something like that, or you add a curd, so again curdling of milk, what is happening? It is getting coagulated, and then I am getting curd out of it. So all these reactions I need to place in the form of an equation. So when I place the reaction in the form of an equation, I say it to be a chemical equation. That is a chemical equation. All right. So now we will go to chemical equations in the next video. Before that, I would just sum it up and say in this video, what are the things that we learn? We learn what is chemical reaction, and we learn how to define the chemical reaction, and what are the properties that happens, the change in the properties that happens. We learn what is a reactant, and we learn what is the product, right? So next, when we go into the next video, we'll learn how to frame a chemical equation. Thank you.